Good. Let me close my email program and then I'll flip it over to Coach so it doesn't ding.
Bad hair day.
I have that every day, Coach.
I wish I had your problems.
You've got recording paused.
I do, and I have restarted, so we should be good to go there. And we're after 4:00, so we'll go ahead and get started, Coach. Why don't you lead us off, and then we'll open for questions.
Yeah, it was exciting, and a couple of exciting announcements happened this weekend, and everything finalized today with Plummer Alfonso signing his scholarship papers. Very, very excited about what he brings to us. I thought he was, I happened to catch a couple of his games during the year, and what a outstanding shooter, if not one of the best shooters in the country. He's definitely the best shooter in the portal, in our opinion. A guy that had some scary games in terms of his productivity. You make 11 threes in a game, you're doing a lot of good things. Had a 23-point half against Colorado in a comeback. That was exciting. He's just a guy that has tremendous IQ, tremendous feel. He's a gym rat. He's a guy that has a desire to be a passion to be great. He can play on the ball, which fits our multi-guard offense. A guy that showed playmaking abilities, but is really known for his shooting and his ability to score the ball. Does it in a lot of ways. They're just not step-in threes. They're off screens. They're off ball screens. They're off the bounce. Just a multi-talented offensive talent, and a guy that we think is one of the best shooters in America. So a veteran, very experienced, 14 points a game in a Power 5 conference, and we know with Coach Krzysztofiak at Utah, he was extremely well coached, and so we're very, very excited to have him joining us, and then obviously Trent's announcement that he would be returning. Obviously, you're talking about a guy that has been a major part of this program growing and becoming better. I've said it many times. I think he's the elite perimeter defender in college basketball. He was in the Big Ten for sure. He's a guy that is, the Energizer Bunny. His motor never stops. He's a guy that, when Io was out this year, stepped in and was a proven scorer again, as he was early in his career, and a guy that was epitomizes everything that our culture is about. And so very, very excited to have Trent, and that gives us what we think is an outstanding defender, a guy who can play both spots and has done it throughout his career, and a guy that his game has grown a lot in the last 4 years, and excited to see him back here for his fifth year.
All right, well, we'll lead off with Jeremy, and you guys follow in line.
Hey, Brad, hope you're well. I know you made comment of Trent when Io was out. How does his role differ now? It's kind of one of the leaders again on this team, but without Io there. Does his role differ at all now with Io not?
Yeah, and I think that's one of the things, Jeremy, that he's excited about. I think Trent's always been viewed as a guy who's a very capable scorer, and just took on a role that defender, playmaker, made shots when needed. And yet we saw him in that Michigan game be a guy who got downhill. We saw a very much improved game at the rim, and playing in ball screens. And again, I think that the one thing that I'm excited about is maybe we can continue to play really, really fast. I think we've got a team that is the makes of it becoming an outstanding 3-point shooting team. We were a good 3-point shooting team this year. We didn't take a lot of them, but I think as we continue to to go here, it's a team that I really like our speed, and I like our tenacity, and obviously Trent's a guy that is a unbelievable two-way player.
And obviously, these guys have a huge ceiling offensively, as you're talking about, but they are shorter guys. How do they work together defensively, in your opinion, or what changes for you guys there?
Yeah, I like it. I think the one thing the one thing that's hidden a little bit with Curbelo is his length. Trent's already proven. And then you've got a guy in Plummer who's stronger, physical. He's got a little bit of a, Andres Felice, cut up body, more mature, very strong. So they've all got some difference to them. But again, it's we've always gotten guys to guard, and we haven't worried too much about size. Trent's guarded perimeter guys in this league from point guards to small forwards. So I'm excited about that, and especially what we can do on the other end.
Thanks, Brad.
Good afternoon, Coach. You were asked, I guess it may have been last week, about Coleman and his online Twitter recruiting things that he does. I know Alfonso Plummer and Andre Curbelo have a really good relationship, and obviously Coach Antigua did a lot there too with his Latino ties. How special is it to be able to kind of bring all these different people in from Latin America over the last couple of years for you?
Yeah, it's tremendous. I think that I love their passion, and I mean, they're really good players. First of all, I mean, they're capable, high level guys, next level guys, when you start, you see this with Bello and his success, and you see his personality, and most people didn't get to see his personality, because of COVID, but and they know his talents, and people want to be a part of that, and know his reputation, not just here, but worldwide. You're talking about a guy that's got a magnetic personality, and people are drawn to him, and that makes it really special. And obviously Fonz and Bello have a great connection, and that was something that was sure a factor, and they're both excited to play with each other.
You've honestly had a lot of international flavor throughout your first couple of years. Obviously Georgie and Kofi in there, Andres Felice as well. Is it something that, I mean, I know you're going to go anywhere to get good players, but is going international something that you want to continue to do as long as there's players out there for you?
No question. No question. I mean, we scour those reports, services, games. We're very dialed into what's going on worldwide. It's a big part. We're blessed at the University of Illinois. We have the most diverse campus in the Big Ten, and obviously in the country. It fits our personality with our campus, so it is. It's just a great fit, a great connection. I love their IQ, the way they've grown up playing the game, and it's just it's been really positive for us.
If I could get one quick follow-up, you mentioned you like their IQ and the way they play the game. Can you kind of compare and contrast that quickly, maybe on just how different that is, or how it might just be different from American players?
Well, a lot of these guys, these international kids, they grow up in academies, and they're going to school, they're practicing multiple times a day. They might only play a regular season, but they're practicing every day. They're working on a national stage or a world stage with their national teams at various levels. So they're just, that's what they do. And they're very dialed into that. And they practice, and they're very fundamental, and get tied in with, some great coaching over there. There's no doubt it's tremendous, and they get it at a very young age.
Thank you, Coach.
Hey, good afternoon, Brad. I'm curious, with the return of Trent, is there an added importance, just given the roster turnover of Io going pro and Georgie going pro, and we saw Kofi put his name, to have that leadership or that veteran experience in the locker room is kind of incorporate some new faces here?
Oh, absolutely. Trent's been a leader for the last really 3 years, but 2 in a significant way. And, you're talking about a guy that's never takes a play off in practice. You're talking about a guy who's always, at the forefront of everything we do in practice in terms of communicating with new guys, helping develop guys. He's been that way. He's a guy that has a great rapport with myself in terms of knows what I think and how we're doing things. And, is in a position now where he can make suggestions and not just always have to listen and know, because he already's that far ahead of us. So that there's no doubt he's a significant piece to that.
And then do you have an approach for re-recruiting a player like Adam who has entered the portal? I mean, have you guys had conversations? Is there a way that you'll blanket approach that scenario, or is just given the changes of college basketball, that's something you've not really had to think too much about?
No, I think that, we try to communicate all the time with guys. We've had communication with Adam, and, you can only go so far. We've got to continue to work and make our roster the best it can be. We've been on this group of freshmen for some time, and we felt very confident in our knowledge and understanding of that group. And we've been very, very dialed in with the transfer portal. I mean, we live it every day. So we've got to do the best we can in terms of understanding and getting to know kids. So it's just a constant juggling act, Joey. And I mean, and when guys are in the portal, they're not part of us, and it's part of the situation. We've got to find guys who are part of us and want to become part of us. So I've done more Zooms and been more active in recruiting so far this spring than I have probably at all other springs combined.
And if I could get one more, has DeMonte indicated maybe what a timeline looks like for his decision to you guys yet?
No, he hasn't. We're continuing to communicate and have conversations, and we just we got the celebration tonight, and so we'll continue to work through that. We want to do what's best with him, and academically and athletically as well. So that he's no different than anybody else. They just constantly we just keep trying to have constant communication.
Thanks, Brad. Appreciate it.
Hey, Brad, can you just, update me on what's the maximum you have? I mean, it sounds like super seniors don't count, but what about guys that have declared for the draft and they want to come back? You're talking about juggling. How does all that work with the scholarship limits?
Yeah, it's going to vary. I mean, we're going to see rosters this year with super seniors. If somebody has 4 or 5 seniors come back, you're going to see 17, 18 guys on a roster. And that's going to probably over the, not just this year, could potentially next year. So, we still have to be at 13. We'll be at 13, not including super seniors, and as I call them, and we'll see what that, what that looks like. So it's just, it's no different than the waiting game we had to play last year, John, and in terms of waiting on the draft status and so on and so forth. And we do know, Io's gone, so he's going to be a first round pick, and get, so we feel very strongly about that one.
Hey, Brad, with a guy like Alfonso just coming in, just has a year with you, what's sort of maybe the most important thing, that he has to go through, like whenever he gets to campus, just to maybe make, as much use of his one season as possible?
Yeah, I think the, connection with our players, chemistry, there's no doubt we had a great connectivity last year. I think that's first and foremost. He's obviously got some familiarity with Bello, and that helps. But no, just and everybody tries to find their own way and find their own, and it's just a comfort. The offense, the defense, that stuff always takes care of itself pretty quickly. And it's just a connection that he's got to develop with his teammates. He's got a lot of personality, so I don't think that'll be an issue.
Okay. I know you've liked, guys like Jake and Austin to have the sit out year, and that's gone at this point. But what are you maybe looking for when you are bringing a guy in just for that 1 year, and like it's either going to work or right away or it won't?
Yeah, and I think we've tried to dive very hard into this is going to be our new norm to a certain extent. So I think we're trying to find as much about the character piece. We're trying to we're much more in tune with synergy, game film, stats, numbers, talking to people in the league around them, who's played them, staffs that they've been a part of. And just making sure they fit our piece and our culture. I think that's exciting. I think the one thing you've got with a grad like Alfonso, you've got maturity. You've got a guy who's he's proven it at the highest level in a great league, and that's exciting. He's not going to be intimidated by size or talent. He's seen that at the highest levels and been productive. So that's very comforting, as sometimes you get some of these guys who are transferring up who may not have that experience every night.
And then one other one, just with Cody, declaring for the draft, how do you as a coaching and the coaching staff sort of navigate the next 2.5 months before that decision might be, that's sort of the deadline to lock that in?
Yeah, and Kof is here, and I mean he's working out. My approach is no different than it's always been. Is we're going to do everything we can to help him reach his dream. And I mean, down on the court with him this morning and talking to him. It's all about helping him. We don't know yet what workouts look like, and it's best to try to advise and help and answer questions that he has. But we're working him out, trying to get him in the best place that he can be. As he's got decisions to make here in the next couple of months, we've got a plan on that. He's here, and we'll see how that goes accordingly as time plays out.
Thanks, Brad.
Coach, where are you at today as far as your scholarship limit, given the roster right now as it is today?
Where do you want it to be?
I'm wondering.
19, 18. We'll be at 13 by the time school starts. I can tell you that.
Okay.
We're in a great place. Let's put it that way. We're in a really, really, really good place.
Sure. And what does it mean to be able just to raise a banner with this program today?
It's awesome. It's deserved. This one, in my opinion, needs the asterisk by it because of COVID and all the stress and all the other things. I think it's so special. I think this team has proven they were one of the best teams in the country. Watching a couple of games here in the last week from the Big Ten tournament, you don't realize how high a level this team played at, and the last couple of months were incredible. I mean, it was high level stuff, and obviously didn't end that way, but to be a part of 16 wins in the best conference in the history of college basketball, to win a Big Ten tournament, 19 total wins, most quad one wins. This team deserves that recognition. They deserve to be looked at as one of the great teams in Illinois history. And again, first team All-American, the individual awards came with it, a second team All-American, all defensive. It's just unbelievable, the individual accolades that came with this, and it speaks to their connectivity, their love for each other, and that's when they get to walk back in here and see a banner. That doesn't go away. that doesn't go away.
All right, thank you. That's it for me.
Coach, I wanted to circle back real quick on the international players. They all seem to bring a different kind of skill set, whether it's Andre's passing and ball handling or Georgie's footwork or whatever. How kind of advantageous is that for you when you're trying to scheme up different things on the offensive and defensive side?
Well, passing is one of the greatest things in our game. When you can pass, and it allows offense to become easy. You know, they all have different things that, you know, and it's advantageous when there's certain issues and things that you don't have to coach. They just have it. And all we have to do is magnify it and show it off and put it in the right situations. And, you know, we do that with Curbelo. We, you know, Georgie, right hand, left hand, his footwork, his pivoting, you know, Kofi's sheer size, and Dama's, you know, the Euro step that Dre had and his ability to get in the paint. I mean, there's a whole group of things that are, you know, they all became excellent at. So it's just our job to magnify it and help put that out there for us to be successful and for them to be able to show their game off.
Thank you, Coach. That's all I got.
Thank you.
Brad, I think hoisting a banner is important, but would you talk about the money, what kind of performance bonuses your staff is going to get, and what kind of retention incentives you might be offering?
Geez, I don't even know. I guess I'll have to go online and look it up. I don't know. I have no idea.
Talk about, I mean, you said Orlando and international recruiting. Obviously, you're going to have some fallback plans in the future because these guys are going to move on to head coaching positions, as you said in our last Zoom. How important is it to keep the staff together right now?
I mean, I think it's always, I look at it every spring, Rob, as an opportunity. If we do our job and we do it extremely well, that's a reflection of our staff and the fact that they should have opportunities to move their career along. No different than I did it, or anybody else in this profession. And you know, you very seldom skip a step in this profession. There's steps to take and to kind of move along. And you know, getting jobs is not easy. It's really hard. But yet I'm also, as we continue to have success, you know, you've always got to have a few things in mind in case you encounter those things. And you know, we'll be no different at some point. But in the meantime, I've got the best staff in the country. I love. I'm gonna keep helping them grow and giving them added responsibilities. And I think that's what we should do as leaders. And I'm blessed. These guys are incredible at what they do.
You've taken every opportunity to say that you've got the best athletic director in the country. You think Josh is willing to compete with the very top programs to retain his talent?
Rob, I think we should be. We're top 10. We're a top 10 program. We should act like. I've said it since the day we've got here, and we can't just talk about it and want to be and you know, have a good season and say, oh, you know, Illinois is great, and then not be supportive. We've done it for 2 years in a row now. We've got to continue to build on that momentum. We've got to continue to act like the Dukes and whoever you want to talk about, or people think, and that's my goal. That's why I wanted to be here. I'm very familiar with the history. I've brought it up many times. It's the 11th ranked program in the history of college basketball. We've got to continue to be like that and think like that. And Josh has done nothing but be supportive of that. And I would expect, I think that's the growth of this program is we are thinking along those lines. Exactly.
Okay. Thanks, Brad.
Brad, let me ask Marley's question maybe a different way. Are you able to add a player tomorrow, whether it's the transfer portal or late like you did last year with Brandon Lee, regardless of Kofi's decision? Or does Kofi's decision right now put you at the limit of 13?
I think we're juggling balls. I think that you always look. I think that we're in a situation in today's world with the transfer portal, and we have no drop dead date when kids can leave. I think we'd be foolish to not continue to look. I mean, you know, we could bring guys in here in August and they transfer out. Yeah, you know, we're going to have another wave in the portal. All these guys that have declared for the draft and then want to go back to college, you know, some of them will be in the portal, and I think it's about continuing to build, you know, the best roster you can. So. It's our new culture. It's our new world. We'll be at 13 when school starts, or 12, or 11, but we won't be over.
Is that all? Anything
Is
else?
that everybody?
Thanks, Brad.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Coach.